Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Klim Arsenal backpacks. So the new Arsenal backpacks from Klim are going to come in a few different variations. You're going to get a 5-liter, 10-liter, as well as the 15 over here on my right, your left. And each one kind of goes towards a different market. I was using this one this weekend in a dual sport out in the New Jersey Pines. Really like the overall main construction, which stays the same throughout, but you get something a little bit more commuter over here in the 15-liter, something a little bit more trail or longer distance riding, and something a little bit more short-term, small storage, but enough to get exactly what you need, especially with the hydration pack filled in there. But commonalities that we share across the entire line, and then I'll break down each one on there. You're looking at about $120 for the 5-liter, $150 for the 10-liter, and the 15-liter comes in at $200, again, being more of a much more road-oriented or adventure-oriented backpack than the other two. But looking at the main constructions, this is going to be a water-resistant nylon main construction. It's ripstop all the way throughout. I really dig this main construction, and the main reason is I was talking with the Klim guys, and they designed it so that when you're done a ride, you can just put it right in front of the power washer and give it a blast to get all the sand off, everything like that, which is what I do. Usually at the end of a ride, we'll pull into a car wash or something like that, grab the power washer, I'll do the boots, do all the gear, and I like that you can just toss this down, and the material is designed to be beat up and is water-resistant, that it's not going to leak through, especially if you just give it a quick blast to get all the dirt and sand off, as I did after this weekend. So that's the main construction. That's going to be across all three. You are going to get water resistant zippers up top, and you do get one main pouch. Included with all of these is going to be a 3-liter hydration pack from Klim, which I'll show you the magnetic closure on the other side, but you can see it loops through the actual system. You get one main pocket inside here, and then you also get a nice little coin pocket inside that's zippered closed. That's where I actually kept my Insta360 when we were out riding. I like that you can store it in there. I wasn't using the hydration pack. I've used the Klims for races. I've used them for about the past 5 years, but I will say a 1-liter water bottle, you can actually fit 2 of them inside of this 5-liter bag pretty comfortably with enough space for the Insta360, all the mounting and everything like that. Fit pretty comfortably in there when the hydration wasn't filled. If the hydration's filled, you could probably fit 1 in there nice and easy, but I like all that storage in there. All 3 of them will also get MOLLE webbing on the outside, and one cool part is you might not be able to see it on camera, but behind the center strip of MOLLE webbing is a patch of reflective. So if you are riding closer to sunset, or you're coming out of the desert at dusk, or if you're just riding around at night, cars behind you will be able to illuminate that, and you get a nice little pop of safety at the back. One cool part, speaking of the back, you do get EVA foam throughout all 3 of them, so it's nice and protective. It's going to be something that helps reinforce in an accident, but also something that holds its shape up against your back, so it's not something that's flopping around. It's going to hold its shape pretty well. Looking at the straps themselves, they are foam mesh covered straps, so it's going to allow a little bit more air to flow out. If you're sitting there on a hot day, it's not going to be something that just feels like you're wearing another layer. It's going to help breathe it. You can see the hydration tube comes out underneath of the straps themselves, and it's actually a magnetic clip on the one side of the hydration, which you can switch either side if you wanted to, that finds its home in there. As someone who races, who has trouble getting their hydration back up for the 3-hour races or the 2.5-hour races, getting that magnetic piece to find its home is nice and easy without having to look. You can just kind of find it there. Honestly, I might snag a few of them and start building it into a hands-free system just so the wiring and the tubing is off to the side, but that's a video for another day. When we look down here, you do get a magnetic sternum strap. I'll kind of just lay that down. It is magnetic. It finds its home pretty easily with plenty of space to pull it in. And one thing I will say is you do get these little T-hooks on each side of the strap. Now that's only on the 5 and the 10. There's a different system, which I'll talk about in just a minute on the 15, but you get those. The reason is you can actually slide that out and move it up. You can move it up to these different holes throughout. There are different mounting points throughout the area that you can pop it up towards if you need to adjust where that sits. I found right out of the gate, I like that where it was in that normal position. If anything, I'd slide the hydration tube down. That was getting a little close to the bottom of the neck while I was out there riding, but you don't have a waist strap on the 5-liter version. It's just the adjustable straps on each side, so you wear it more like a traditional hydration pack with a nice carry loop up top. Now, if we're moving on from the 5 and talking about the 10 that I have over here, the 10 is going to be designed for a little bit more trail-oriented ride. And the reason I say that, you get an extra pocket, you get some extra straps. If you want to add more on, you still get the MOLLE webbing, still the same main construction, comes in a couple of different colors as well, but you get a nice fleece-lined interior, nice soft interior if you want to put your sunglasses in there, or a second set of lenses for your goggle. You still get the hydration pack, a couple more pockets on the inside, storage pockets tucked away, but you still get the hydration pack included, so that all remains the same. Still water resistant zippers going up and down. I'm not too upset that they're not waterproof. I think once you get into waterproofing, you might be looking at more of like a long distance touring backpack. If you're ripping trails out there, you're gonna be getting wet. Everything's gonna be soaking through. Most dirt gear isn't waterproof. And if it is, you're sweating your ass off at that point. So you wanna make sure that you have all that stuff in there. But if you're looking for valuables, tuck it inside of like a Ziploc bag and store that away. That'll protect your phone more than anything else. Same straps running down the front, same hydration pack. Again, same mounting for the magnetic with that T-hook style. The one thing I will say with this one, you do get removable waist packs. So again, if you're holding more weight, if you're adding an extra bag onto the back, for that $150, so the $30 price up, you do get removable waist straps. That just gives you a little bit more of an option to secure it if you are adding tons of weight in there. But I think for the step up from the 5 to the 10, you're getting the extra straps on the back, a little bit more storage on the inside, as well as the waist strap. Those are gonna be the key differences. Now, if we start looking at the 15, that's where the differences start becoming way more apparent when it comes to the actual features of it. This is a backpack. The other two are trail hydration packs that have storage in there. This is a full-blown backpack, and you can really tell that you get the same small storage for valuables up top. You get a nice little one. Actually goes pretty deep in there if you do have to put a full set of goggles or something like that. And then your main pocket is gonna be much larger with way more storage on the inside. Again, for someone who's commuting, maybe wants something that can go out on the trail but can also commute, you have that option. It's still the same main construction, still has the same grab, has the same MOLLE webbing with reflective, as well as the exterior straps that we saw with the 10. But when we look at the backpack straps, that's where you start getting the biggest difference here. Now, you do get the magnetic strap at the center that is not adjustable. You actually can adjust this backpack up top with these carabiner style adjusters up top. You actually just move it from one loop to the next, depending on where you need it. It's not something that's very easy to do, which is why I'm not gonna do it on camera, but I will say, once you do it, you're probably never gonna readjust it for the rest of the ownership or lifespan of the backpack, just because it's gonna be in the right position. But you still get a pass through for the hydration. Hydration is still included. You still get the magnetic closure on there. And when you look down at the waistline, you get a non-removable waist strap across this one. So again, a little bit more backpack friendly, a little bit more rider friendly. It keeps the weight across the sternum. It's gonna keep the weight off of your shoulders, so it's not pulling at highway speeds, and you get that waist strap to really just help out a little bit more. So again, when you look at the line, you're looking at like a racing or trail oriented rider. You get someone who's dedicated trail, might be hitting like a dual sport or something like that in the 10 liter. And then you have someone who's really commuting or looking to do a little bit longer days tour, wants to store stuff away inside of their bag in the 15, which is more like a true backpack. And again, between the main constructions, the features, the hydration pack included, and all the adjustability that we've seen across all three of these arsenals, I really like what Klim is doing. I think they're going in the right direction. Style is definitely something I think they might have left at the door when they got a few of these, but I'd rather have the material that's gonna withstand 5-10 years of abuse than something that has nice flash to it or anything like that. So I dig what Klim is doing with the all new arsenals. But if you have any other questions on that, go ahead and click the info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the all new arsenals. Don't just take my word for it. If you still have questions after that, or you're trying to figure out which one, the 5, 10, or 15 is right for you and your riding style, give our customer service agents a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the Klim Arsenal 5, 10, and 15 liter backpacks. I'm Pat. I'll see you in the next video.